Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. I know what some of this stuff is, and it should be pretty exciting. I think a lot of people will be really interested in some of these new variations. Thanks so much to We Knives for sending this stuff in. Apparently they're doing a National Knife Day event that runs through the 26th. I honestly have no idea what that involves. I'll link their website down in the description. You guys can check it out if you want to. Let's go ahead and see what we've got here. Number one, I'm going to start off with the We, because it's a knife you've already seen. And the story behind this is another Ator. I messaged them saying, please, I want that. I'm a huge fan of Dalibor Bergam. I thought it was so cool that he was doing a collab with We. And they said, I don't know if we'll be able to get you one. Which is fair, right? Pretty expensive model. So I said, no problem, I'll just buy one. So I bought one, and then like literally 4 days later, they said, yeah, we can send you one. So, of course, what I'll do is I will give this one away. Because as much as I would love to keep two of them, that is pretty cool. As much as I would love to keep them both, it doesn't make any sense. So this will be included in a future giveaway. If you don't know, I get a lot of stuff from retailers, OEMs, and stuff like that. A lot of stuff for review, for content on this channel. I do not keep it all. I do keep things sometimes, but I don't keep it all. It would be impossible. This room would be full to the ceiling of knives. So what I like to do is host live streams, usually on Friday evenings at about 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and give a whole bunch of stuff away. So this will be in one of the upcoming giveaways. The Ator, this comes in a wide variety of configurations, by the way, so not just black and gold and flashy. Mine is all blue and silver, which I thought was really great, without the little inlays here, which, by the way, how are those attached? That's kind of interesting. Hold on. Let's see here. There are little screws. So these are just like giant pieces of titanium that are just attached in it. I mean, it's kind of neat. I don't normally see that, right? Polished, not Damascus, but like a lightning ano or plasma ano on the pivot collars. Really nice touch. Gold, and then we have CPM 20 CV with, truthfully, my least favorite finish, the black wash. But this is an integral, and if you are familiar with the premium integral market, with direct competition, other Chinese premium manufacturers like We, this actually comes in at one of the most spectacular price tags I've seen for an integral, right? You can't reduce it to titanium and 20 CV. You have to acknowledge that it is an integral, which adds a substantial cost in terms of production. So I think the base price of these is $357 or $367. It's something like that. Pretty impressive considering what we normally see is $400 or more on a knife like this. So this is, if you didn't know, one of my picks so far for one of the most impressive knives of 2024. Definitely worth checking out. So what we also have here are a couple of Civivi. I know what one of the Civivis is. I don't know what the Sencut is. If you're not familiar with Civivi, We, Sencut, so We makes the, I'm looking for my obsidian toenail here. We makes the premium end. Civivi makes budget knives and kind of mid-range. Like some of them have been kind of creeping up close to or over $100. And then Sencut is their dedicated budget brand. So usually 45 or less. What is this called? A little bit more decorative for a Sencut. The Hyrax. Green ivory G10 handle, satin finish, 9CR 18 MOV blade. Okay. Yeah, a little bit, little extra there. So if you're new to knives, this is a great place to start, is Sencut. Generally speaking, you're going to get a utilitarian, handle profile and blade profile. You're going to get reasonable materials for the money. This is great, actually. The action is just really spectacular. Kind of wild, the layered G10. I like that they've been doing this lately because, in the past, like these sub $50 knives have been kind of limited to a color of G10 and a drop point blade, or a color of G10 and a sheep's foot blade, So there's not a lot they can do, understandably. Like, they're all going to be steel liner locks. But that's fine. Like, they do a good job with it. But, I mean, the addition of the layered G10, in this case, we have the ivory and green. It's actually pretty cool. And I bet you anything, they didn't come with a little piece of paper that shows it, but I bet you anything there are multiple configurations, multiple colors there. So next up, let's see. That's the one I want to open last. Excuse me. I had Qdoba for lunch, and there's undoubtedly a jalapeno seed that is stuck in the back of my throat, so I'm fighting through that. The Tacticorix, man, they love throwing X's and syllables and stuff. Really trying to trip me up here. Gray shredded G10 handle. Shredded G10. Familiar, of course they do that with carbon fiber. But unless they're just calling a basic material something else, I don't know that I'm familiar with that. Tacticorix? Tacticorix. Okay. All right. Shredded G10. Well, that's actually really cool. Look, that it is. It's shredded G10. It kind of looks like almost like a matte marble countertop, or like a frosted window, where it's not, like the ice is not like perfectly transparent, right? It almost looks frozen. There's a little bit, because you have the little pieces in there, like angling different ways. Yeah, it kind of does look like marble, but it feels like G10. That's actually kind of cool. It's also a full-size knife. Wow, that's a really good-looking knife. Really good-looking. Nitro V, I bet you anything that one's up there. I would love to find out that this big boy, because they didn't nest the liners, right? There's no tie pocket clip or anything. There's nothing special here outside of the Nitro V, which in this territory is one of the more expensive blade steels, right? Your Nitro V is going to be more expensive than your 9TR13 MOV. It's going to be more expensive than D2, right? Steels like that. But I'm hoping that we still land under 75. Action on this is superb. Thumb stud placement, also great. A little in the cutting path, but really nice. Civivi knows how to do a thumb stud. Wish they could figure out how to do a pocket clip. People get mad at me for that. There's like a whole group of people that are furious with me about complaining because I complain about the pocket clips, and I don't, according to them, this group that's like petitioning against me, not really, but my treatment of the Civivi pocket clip is unjust when I overlook, in reality, it's just things that they don't like as much as I don't like the pocket clip. But I think my treatment of the pocket clip is unfair versus my criticism of other, in their words, overlooked design flaws. Deal with it! I don't like the pocket clips all that much, but it's more of a joke than anything else, because as I always say, there's actually not really anything wrong with the clip. The clip functions fine. I just personally don't like the little bill at the end, right? But that little detail is ignored, of course, to justify the little knitting group that they've become. Anyways, hey, he's talking about us. This is Hollow Ground. Hollow Ground, nice. Pretty cool. This is actually a really nice knife. I like this a lot. I hope it's under 75, but I'm not going to hold my breath. And then finally, honestly, I bet this will be the star of the show. And I'm going to keep this one. Sorry. This is going to be mine. But it'll be available. And honestly, I just think it's really cool. And that's the whole reason. I only own one other knife with this exact material, and I just think it's neat that we're going to get it. Let me make sure I've got the material in my head. Yeah. So this is the Vision FG in Lexan. So I have it in Ultim, and I love my Vision FG in Ultim, mainly because you can see through it, and it's just kind of a wild material. Lexan is just clear, right? Not going to win any awards for durability, but I don't plan on really beating this thing or abusing it. I just think it looks better. Personally, I just like the clear better than the Ultim. I think this is neat, as long as they don't try to charge any more for it, because Lexan is not an exotic material, right? So we, Civivi, don't try to charge people $5 more for this. Don't do that. going to be a little fussy. I think you're going to make people fussy if you do that. I doubt that would happen. That would be a little bit ridiculous, right? Lexan is not an expensive material. It's not an expensive material to work with. It's not special in any way. It's just interesting because it's clear. Or I believe it can actually be dyed. Maybe I'm wrong about that. What does it say over here? Yeah, designed by Snex. Does that say the same thing on this? I wish... Why can't we just have the Snex logo up here, you know? But anyways, whoops, moved the whole table there. Sorry about that. This is actually really, really nice. This is still to this day what I consider to be the best dollar for dollar pocket knife in the world. Why? Because it has an ambidextrous locking system that is incredibly easy and convenient to manipulate. Wonderful ergonomics, fantastic materials considering the price tag, Nitro V. The Super Lock is legitimately a super lock and not just designed to be gimmicky and fidgety. There's something under my feet that I'm losing my mind. There we go. But not just designed to be fidgety. It's actually a ridiculously strong lock. One of the strongest folding knife locks on the market. It probably doesn't rival the great Triad lock. You know, you have the whole group of people, the whole, you know, cold steel council of knifedom that will judge you. If you dare assume out loud that anything comes close to the might of the Triad lock. But when we're talking realistic use of a pocket knife, the Triad lock is wildly overkill, and so is the Super Lock. Truthfully, this is overkill for anything you'll ever need in terms of a pocket knife. But it is fantastic, and what it has in terms of a benefit over the Triad lock is its incredible ease of manipulation, similar to the Shark lock, which was designed by Andrew Demko, also the person who designed the Triad lock. In my opinion, it's going to be a lock like this or something similar that eventually phases out the Triad lock, because the downside to those locks is, number one, like I said, it's ridiculously overkill, and number two, it's actually less convenient to manipulate than something like this. So they're great knives, but this, for me and for the average person, is far more pocket knife than you'll ever need. And the base price comes in at, I believe, $78, which I think is more than fair. Not quite a budget knife, but still one of the best knives out there. So it's really cool that they're offering it in Lexan. I will say this, and I know a lot of other people will too. Personally, I don't mind the holes. I think they're fine. But there are some people out there who just hate them, right? Their hatred burns deep to their core. I hate holes, right? There's like their village was like burned to the ground by the Hole clan. So they just have like this lifelong vendetta against holes. It's, you know, it offends people more than others. It doesn't really affect the knife in any way. But there are tons of people out there who would love to just own this knife, but can't because it has the holes. Civivi, Snex, just make a version without holes. Like, what is going on here? Or, like, some aftermarket company needs to make these wildly available. I mean, Flightanium or whoever, right? Is it Original Goat? You guys definitely could make a killing on that. Maybe they already do it, right? But Civivi, you're missing out here. And I think, you know, with Snex, I think that's just like a design thing. I would buy another one if it didn't have. I don't mind that it's got it there, but there are tons of people who just absolutely hate it. So I mean, like, why not offer it with just like a plain scale? That would be a good idea. But I do think this is cool. In fact, this was a good box all the way around. I think everything here is cool, save for whatever the prices end up being. I'm gonna get. Well, I know this one's about $350 to $360. I'm gonna guess that one's $45. I'm gonna hope this one is about $69. Giggity. I doubt it. I bet it's $79, but we'll see. And then this one I would hope is also $78, just like the Vision FG. I would hope that they don't try to charge more money for Lexan. But that's my guess. I'll link this stuff down in the description. You guys can check it out if you want to. That's going to be it today, guys. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex and on TikTok at _metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.